Watch out, this podcast may contain adult content. We're brought to you today by Altered Reality Entertainment, the creators of Empire State Comic-Con. Check it out at escomiccon.com. And now, on to the show. Hello and welcome to On the Case, an investigative television podcast with Casey and Elijah. We're talking about all the final Game of Thrones characters ahead of the final season. And the living, breathing people who are still walking around in the show. Some of the people walking around are not exactly living and breathing like the mountain. But, Casey, who are we talking about today?
Today's episode is about Podrick Payne, the lovable squire of Tyrion and then Brienne. Just a great character, all around lovable guy.
Yeah. He's done. I wouldn't say he's done many heroic feats, but he's done like those things that like make the audience go, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's been there to throw that one last punch that the other hero couldn't. You know, I mean, he saved Tyrion's life from Sir Mandon Moore at the Battle of the Blackwater. Otherwise, Tyrion would be dead instead of just, half noseless or whatever. And he also kind of helped save Brienne when they were fighting the Bolton men to save Sansa. So he's coming in a pinch quite a few times.
In handy. Yes, definitely. So I guess our overview for Podrick is really just he's hung out with Tyrion a bit.
Yep.
Hung out with Brienne a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, just kind of...
Just there.
He's
related to Sir Ilan Payne, the executioner, who
chopped
not
off
so
Ned's
graciously killed Ned, but it wasn't his choice or whatever. But he's a good lad. I think when we first see him, he's just kind of fumbling around trying to pour wine right, and then towards the end, he's learned quite a bit. He's pleasured many ladies, and he has learned a bit to do with the sword. So. And he knows how to ride a horse now.
Many ladies.
Yeah.
I think
it was many ladies just one time.
That one time.
When he got paid back.
He had a lot of pent-up Podrick happening there.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so...
Beginner's luck.
All right, let's move on in our pod here and talk about where we last saw Podrick.
When we last saw Pod, he was with Brienne, speaking on behalf of Sansa at the giant group gathering in the Dragon Pit in King's Landing with all the other characters who matter pretty much. And he didn't have much to do there.
He quickly got ushered away by Bronn.
It was nice that he was there though. I think he went to go get a drink with Bronn. He's like, we don't need to be here to talk. We're just, with the people we're with or whatever.
The real reason is that Bronn and Cersei can't be in scenes together. That's why he went away.
That's true. Yeah, apparently. Which I can't understand because they both seem delightful in person.
No, just that they used to date. So
is that right?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Oh,
I did not.
Yeah, Lena Headey has a no Jerome in any of her scenes clause in her contract. Yeah.
Wow, that must be back in his pop star days.
Yeah, they used to date. Yeah, so that's why he left. Because I was like, oh man, it would have been cool to see Bronn interact with all those people in that situation. But that's why they leave and go get a drink because.
Yeah, he wouldn't have said anything helpful, that's for sure.
No, he just would have...
If it's not a battle or whatever, he's just going to put something snarky out there.
I would have liked Bronn to see the seriousness of the threat, because maybe that would have made him go with Jaime. But beyond that, let's talk about Pod.
He's always down for a fight.
Okay.
Anyway.
So best and worst moments for Pod.
Podrick's best moment... It's like, do you pick the
axing?
Yeah. Well, it's a spear, but I think when he saves Tyrion's life,
has to be the best.
That's a big deal because we've never seen him do anything besides pour wine and put on armor for Tyrion and stuff like that. And that's when he really showed who he was because he killed a king's guard in the back to save Tyrion, which speaks volumes for how
ultimate
loyal he
loyalty,
is, and that he's loyal to the right people. That he has a heart. Like a normal person would have at least hesitated because they've been like, wait, I can't kill a king's guard. That's like killing the king. And even though he just swung at Tyrion or whatever, you would think also if I defend Tyrion and people that control the king's guard want him dead, they're going to want me dead in 5 fucking minutes. So he really put his ass on the line in that moment and did the right thing. And I think that's his most shining moment where his character really changed for me. Okay.
Because for me, I want to say actually, I don't know if... Because when we've talked about these best moments, we haven't really highlighted the actors and the actresses too much. We've done it a few times, but for me, I really love the scene when Podrick and Tyrion have their goodbye in the cells, when he basically tells Tyrion, hey, someone approached me about testifying against you, and then he was just like, this is farewell, Pod, and he says there's never been a more loyal squire, and I really felt like that was the first time I saw an emotional depth to the character, and that like that guy got to flex his acting muscles a little bit because yeah, that's a really good scene. And then like paired with like right after that, the next time we see dude, he's making that stupid dumb like super mega grin because he's with Brienne. He's like, yeah, I get to go on an adventure and like go be with a knight, and like it's really cool that like Podrick has never judged Brienne or like like thought of her lesser for being a woman who's a knight. Like he's listened to her and learned from her and respected her like she was the strongest knight in the land, and he's seen her prove that she is an ass kicker. So I feel like we're gonna actually get like a really good knight out of Podrick. Like I imagine like if we look at either the Kingsguard book or like the histories of Westeros after this, that like Podrick became a renowned knight, and like that's just kind of how I feel.
That'd be great
about like just his trajectory and like what we've seen from him.
Well, he's not fierce, in the way that like someone who's like a natural fighter, like a Braun type person, like a real cutthroat type person.
Yeah,
but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, and he's built pretty sturdy. I mean, he could be like maybe. I don't know.
Barristan,
like Barristan Selmy.
Yeah, I feel like he has a very good moral compass. So it's like it's so rare. Like everyone in this show that they have like all these things that they do to get ahead or to get further in the Game of Thrones. But like Podrick's just like, yo, I think he has learned to be a good swordsman from training with Bree. And
learning is the main part about who Pod is, because he comes from a house that we're kind of like told basically to hate at the beginning because it's the execution that killed Ned. But if you think about it, as a young squire, you are only as good as the people you have to learn from. And with Tyrion, he never learned how to be a warrior, but he learned how to play the game.
And he learned how the world works,
Yeah, he learned a bit about strategy. He learned a little bit about, conniving and being a little bit more sort of like, I don't know, just influential in other ways, like Tyrion's really good at. And then now with Brienne, it was a little bit of growing pains because he's like, do you want me to pour you wine? Do you want me to, like get
do
every
the
little
things
thing
that Tyrion liked?
Yeah, like make the fire. Do you want me to, whatever? And also she's not very talkative, so it was kind of weird for him. But he learned how to be noble and strong and use a sword and ride a horse and do all those things that are also important. So yeah, I think the culmination of his character is a big part of, it's the sum of the parts of all the people he's been surrounded by. And he's been pretty blessed that way. So far.
I kind of want to spring a new segment on you. It's just called awards, and I'm giving Podrick the award for probably the best husband in Westeros. Like when all is said and done, I think he'd be an excellent husband.
I think so too. Yeah,
just like
absolutely,
you wouldn't want anyone else to be your husband than Podrick.
Yeah,
treat you nicely.
That's why if Sansa's gonna win like the husband lottery at the end of this because she's been through so much horrible shit, it would probably be Pod.
Yeah.
If it was like the perfect person.
Well, take care of you, bring you the wine, be gentle, also help you achieve climax.
A great lover. Yeah. Great warrior, can defend you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's getting the award for best theoretical husband.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm gonna get.
Hopefully he lives to be one. That'd be nice.
Okay. So then, any other top moments for him that you can think of? So Blackwater's up there.
Helping Brienne rescue Sansa is a big one. I mean, he's a part of rescuing two major characters, basically, from like imminent death or danger, and those are really good moments. But I think honestly,
and they're major players in that's so crazy because they're major players in what's happening.
Absolutely.
But like if Pod doesn't do what he does in those situations, Jon can't win the Battle of the Bastards.
Nope.
We don't know about the threat of the White Walkers, and then and then if Tyrion doesn't get saved, then he maybe doesn't go help Daenerys, and he doesn't get her where she needs to be. So
technically he saved two people that are still legally married. So that's kind of weird.
Maybe he only can save people in that marriage.
I guess.
That's his powers are.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think his moments are, it's hard to pick like one great moment because he did have a couple great moments, but he's had just so many, he's been a part of so many great-ish moments with other people, and he's had some pretty underrated, like you said, acting moments with conversations, even just like when they're saying goodbye and he is like with a big goofy grin, like, and it's like he's part of that moment though,
the camera's like a close up there. I love that
gets
scene.
The sword, like that's a great scene too. So he's been part of some super emotional goodbyes.
Okay, so worst moment for Pod, what do you think?
Probably when he has to say to Tyrion that he can't help him, but he didn't betray him. Like, it's a good moment for him, but also, like, him basically being told by Tyrion, like, if you're around me, you're going to be dead. So, like, this is goodbye, and, like, let's not linger, because every second you're here, you're in danger.
Yeah, it sucks for him that there's not a solution out of this situation.
He has no power.
Yeah, so it's a bad moment. Yeah. I'm going to go with when he forgets to, like, do whatever he has to do with the horses, and they like in the mountain that him and the Hound are on, or that Brienne and Hound fight on. Like he loses the horses, and that's why they're like there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's
So like
mad.
him losing the horses, and Brienne just like being like, well, you're carrying everything.
Doesn't
like
he
that.
also like burn some rabbits because he doesn't skin them
he
first?
doesn't skin the rabbits, so he burns those.
It's a learning curve for him.
But he is the one who is like, hey, let's trust this. When they talk to Hot Pie about like Sansa still being alive and finding out about Arya, like he's the reason, because he's like, oh, let's trust this guy and tell him what we're doing. And then Brienne's like, what are you doing, idiot?
Yeah.
So
sometimes he's a little bit naive, but it works for his character.
Losing the horses, burning the rabbit because he didn't take off the fur.
And that stupid smile.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's a
I
great
do
one.
too.
Okay.
It's so him.
All right, what's Pod's happy ending?
I think he could be a knight, but like I said, I don't see that like ferocity in him where he would like want to just be a killer all the time or even be like a bodyguard. I think he's destined to be like a lord of something.
Okay.
And I think if Tyrion has any power at the end of this, there will be no question that he will have like a holdfast or something and like a nice wife and a place to settle down. I think so, yeah.
Well, and I like what you kind of said earlier, like Sansa winning the husband lottery with him, because like if you like, let's just in this hypothetical finale, Tyrion is hand of the king or in a position of power,
sure,
and he can be like, hey Sansa, be Podrick's wife, and then she'll be like, yo, no, I don't need to be married, and then he'll be like, look, here's the thing, I'll give you the divorce for me.
Yeah.
You marry Pod, like he'll be a good husband. Like I can just see like Tyrion like saying a word on Podrick's behalf for the courtship of
That'd
Sansa.
be pretty cool. I mean, it'd be a big step up for Podrick. He's not even like one of the major houses.
You could see Podrick easily falling in love with Sansa in the North when he's up there. He just like probably just seen her like once, just like, oh my god.
Well, he's seen her quite a bit because when they were married or whatever, he was there. He's always been around Tyrion. Yeah. But yeah, I could see that happening. I could see like what'd be really funny is if Sansa's like the Lady of Winterfell, like officially, and like no one's gonna use superpower. Like Bran's not gonna take the. Yeah. Jon's off doing like whatever else he's doing, like with Daenerys, and so she's officially like the person that's gonna be the Stark in Winterfell. And if like she like heard about his legendary like ladies like lady placing skills, so instead of him like proposing to her, she goes like she proposes to him. Like she's a very forward woman.
Yeah,
now.
she does a Daenerys take off your clothes kind of thing.
Like if she was like, because that's what I'd love to see is she was this naive girl and she thought like, oh, I need to be saved. She's like this damsel, and now she's not that at all. So she just like goes, I'll take this one. Yeah, and he's like, okay, I'm so lucky.
Cool, yes,
nice.
I agree.
Cool, dope.
All right, so you think for Podrick, you don't see a Warriors like finish for him as a happy ending? Because I could see him wanting to be one of the 7.
I could see him fighting really well in the war to come, but I don't see, and maybe having a few moments where he saves Brienne or Jaime or someone interesting like that, but I don't see his aspirations leading him to having a sword on his hip all the time.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I disagree with you because I think that as a squire,
just kidding.
No, I think that as a squire, your ultimate dream in life has to be become knighted. And I think that he will be knighted either by Daenerys or by Jon in the North, and he will officially be a knight and no longer a squire. Mm-hmm. And to me, I think that the squire's journey is to earn enough renown and respect to become a knight, and I think that has to be what it is. And I don't know at this point if he's younger than Jaime was when he was knighted, but if he could take the youngest person knighted title from Jaime, I think that'd be a cool thing. Or if he becomes a member of the Kingsguard.
Oh, the Kingsguard, yeah.
Yeah,
that is kind of cool.
I think that his ultimate trajectory, like if you just said, we have this character that's a squire, like happy ending has to be he becomes a respected knight.
Like one of the best knights ever.
Yeah, that just makes in sense. My head makes sense.
I always kind of took him as like someone who was a squire reluctantly. Like, because he never like...
His house
until he was with Brienne and he realized, shit, I'm useless out here without a sword, and he like wanted to learn how to use a sword. He never like wanted to fight or like had any aspirations or like was excited about the prospect of a battle.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think the diplomacy part of it, the courtship part of it, and being a gentleman, that's like he's like painfully polite.
Yeah,
painfully polite Podrick. Like so. I always just assumed he could be something more than that, like some sort of like diplomat at the end, just because. At the end of this, no one's going to be excited about holding a sword. War is going to be the last thing. Like, people only dream about being a knight when there's no wars. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like it's been like all these children of summer, right? Bran and him, people that have never seen a winter. And I think they're going to see winter up close and personal. They're all going to be sick of war when this is over, if they're alive.
Okay, so I have another question for you, and I don't know if we'll come up with it right now. But there's all these renowned like swordman names. So like the Onion Knight, the Sword of the Morning, the Laughing Knight, all these like renowned names like that.
Yeah.
If Podrick was to get a knight name, what do you think it would be?
I want to say tripod because I'm being retarded in my head.
Tripod.
I don't know. I mean,
the Sword Swinger.
Yeah, or like the Sword Swinger.
Yeah, he swings.
It's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
Unless you know the other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Something with pain in it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like
the Minister of Pain.
The Bringer of Pain. Yeah. The Harbinger of Pain. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. And then like he
just shows up with that stupid Podrick grin.
That's what I was thinking.
Like
like you see like a scene that's like 10 years after the war, and like little kids are like, "Oh shit, that's the Harbinger of Pain." And then he takes his helmet off, and he's just like this goofy, clean shaven, like soft faced guy. And they're like, "Oh shit, I thought he was like fierce." All right,
I gotta say, you may have just inspired my worst ending for Podrick. Is it's like this like. Everyone who he's ever cared about or loved like dies, and it's like the Avengers Infinity War like old man Pod with like a beard. He's just like still fighting off the White Walkers like it's like Cursed Child like Voldemort 1 or some shit.
I'm gonna one up you with my worst ending for Pod. My worst ending for Pod is that Ramsay Bolton gets reborn and cuts off his dick, and then all the ladies of Westeros, all the ladies of Westeros just cry because they'll never get any of that tripod action.
They'll never get any Podrick.
No, it's a one and done deal.
So his saddest ending is him losing his legendary slongage.
Yeah. Well, it's not even like it's just whatever the hell he did. I don't even know because they said he wasn't even like big or anything or like particularly endowed. But I mean, it's like if Jaime was the best swordsman ever and he loses his hand, that'd be what happens to Podrick if he loses his dick. Right? He's the best lover ever who lost his dick. Worst ending ever.
Incredible.
That's when I just like I just run out of the room and kick my TV.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, next question. Will he live or will he die?
God, it's crazy because he's like one of those slightly lower tier characters where he could die because he's not important to the end game in a way where like it would rip your heart out if he dies. But the trajectory of the main story won't change too much. So I feel like it's very George R. R. Martin for him to die. If I had to bet, I'd say he's going to die.
Okay.
But I really don't want him to.
I'm going to go with... you dork. I'm going to go with no. Because I just think it would be too mean. Like, I just don't like...
But he's never suffered really anything horrible. Like, if Sansa or Jon or someone who's already been dead dies, like, that's like, oh, come on, man. Really? Like, you already put him through hell so he could get there. Podrick hasn't really had to suffer anything.
And I don't think that's his role as a character. I don't think that he's... Yeah, I don't think that his suffering is something...
it wasn't ladies either, but she got deaded in the first or second episode.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just basically saying that like
innocent characters die.
I know, but as a viewer, I just think that one would be needlessly mean.
Sure.
So I don't like if I was at Vegas and I was putting my money on it, I'd put my money on no, that they don't do it because. I smell
a burrito bet. Do you smell that?
Oh. Yeah.
I'm reaching across the microphone
and shaking.
And I think he'll be dead.
Yeah, burrito bet on Podrick of House Payne.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll die because just like it's like almost like he's so insignificant that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but it would. It would hurt us.
Yeah, we would be mad.
And that's where the deaths are supposed to. Like when someone that we don't care about dies, they die off screen. But when someone that we care about dies, they make a close-up scene. They slow time down. That shit hurts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, do we need to talk about some of the deaths that have really hurt? We didn't need the Red Viper.
No.
But watching him die
was
horrifying.
That's rough.
So,
Hodor's rough.
Hodor.
Man, that episode's so rough because it's just like
Hodor is also a perfect character for this conversation because he is an innocent who doesn't necessarily have to be there, but he's been there for so long and done so many nice things and been so simple and sweet and almost sort of one-dimensional for Game of Thrones, characters. You can't not like him. And so when they kill him, you're like, oh, fuck you, George R. R. Martin.
Do we blame George? Do we blame George?
Yeah.
George? Okay.
Oh, no, they said that moment was specifically from George. That's why it was one of the best episodes ever. It's going to be just like that.
It was also directed by Jack Bender, one of the Lost directors. That's why it was one of the best episodes ever.
Really?
It's funny. Before that season, as soon as they announced Jack Bender was directing an episode, I knew it was going to be something that was cutting between two 2 times, things like
okay.
that. Because he's done some of the best Lost episodes that had that kind of timey-wimey nonsense with the cutting like that. And I was like, they're gonna do something. And I thought it was like Bran was gonna like do some visions. I thought it was gonna be Bran finding out about Jon's parentage. That was my guess. But then like when they did that, I was like, yeah, this is Jack Bendy.
There's been lots of great directors, but the one name that gets me like religiously excited about Game of Thrones is Miguel Sapochnik.
Yeah, Sapochnik, man, that's great.
He's doing the Battle of Winterfell this season.
I mean,
I know that.
I love
fact.
I love Michelle McLaren. I love her.
They're all good. They've had people that have directed movies and stuff.
There's tons of great
Alan
directors.
Taylor,
Taylor's great. Yeah.
But he did Battle of the Bastards and Winds of Winter, and now he's doing the Battle of Winterfell. Whatever they're gonna call it, but it's gonna be the Battle of Winterfell. It's gonna be epic.
It's good stuff.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Can't wait.
Can I just go to sleep and wake up and it's
Game of Thrones time? Yeah, I wish. Okay, so there's no way that Podrick is Azor Ahai, right?
Definitely not.
Okay, and just to reiterate, burrito bet on this. Mm-hmm. What that means to the people listening is that we're basically buying each other Chipotle. If whoever wins.
No, Elijah's buying me Chipotle because I'm never wrong.
Oh,
just kidding.
I
I'm
see.
wrong quite often.
I see.
But none of my wrongs have been proven wrong
cool.
yet.
Well, let me just put the $6 onto a gift card right away.
I'm getting double meat. It's gonna be $8.50
at
least. $8.50.
Might be. Or you get that guac too.
Get that guac. I'm gonna be like, load it up.
$11. Yeah.
Like, but also rest in peace, Pod. This burrito came at a cost to me personally.
Podrick. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not Azor Ahai. Any other theories surrounding Pod?
No. I think he's there to be a support character for some of the other characters, and I don't have any big ideas about where he'll go, but it'd be nice to see something nice happen to him.
Okay.
A couple of cool moments.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. I like Podrick. I like him a lot.
I want to see him use those sword skills on the battlefield to some degree. Like what if he has like a moment where like Brienne gets overwhelmed and he just like gets one that she didn't see coming from behind, and then she gives him like a little like nod, like a little pod nod. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of you. I taught him that move. Yeah. Hey guys, I taught him that move.
The pod nod. You know what? You actually just made me think of another like super happy ending for him. Like if Brienne gives Podrick Oathkeeper.
Oh wow. Yeah, or like what if like he saves her from a horrible death?
Yeah.
Like being eaten by ice spiders as big as hounds because they will be in the show.
They're never.
But she has a fatal wound, and as she's dying, she gives him the sword, and he's like, I'll use it with
carry
honor.
on. Yeah, like, I could see like Podrick, like Brienne being like, yo, I wash my hands of this war nonsense. Yeah. I'm just gonna go chill, and then.
I trained you well. Kill as many ice spiders as big as hounds as you can.
They're never putting this show. No, this show is brought to. No, I'm so mad. This show is brought to you by Altered Reality Entertainment. They don't have any ice spiders at their shows because they're nice and they're reasonable.
They're not nice spiders. They're ice spiders as big as hounds.
Okay, Albany, New York is where Empire State Comic Con is happening in Albany, New York. Check it out at escomiccon.com. They got some people coming from Terminator. They've got some people coming from Gotham. They've got some Power Rangers. Yeah, it's a comic convention.
It's morphin' time.
Yeah. There's artists, there's vendors. It's fun. This group's been doing conventions for the last 7 years.
Will there be
ice spiders as large as hounds? Let me talk to the event director. Oh wait, that's me. No.
Okay.
We're not gonna have ice spiders.
Well, I might come then. No, I'm coming.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to On the Case.
Next time, who are we doing next time?
Arya?
Arya Stark?
Of House Stark?
The faceless woman?
Yeah.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, so we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for listening to On the Case.
See you guys next time.
Bye.